What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. She is a news reporter based out of Jacksonville, Florida. Her name is Brianna Andrews. And we're going to talk to her about her why of getting into journalism. And we're also going to ask her some get to know you questions. Brianna, welcome to the podcast. How we doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very good as well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Again, you look absolutely lovely today on this hump day, on this beautiful day, gorgeous day out here in Minnesota. How's the weather out there in Jacksonville?
Thank you. It is so hot. I'm talking about feels like temperatures in the hundreds, so it is brutally hot out here.
Okay, well, I can't talk about how hot they because we ain't in triple digits over here. So it must be baking over there for sure, no doubt. But I want to get into the first question, which is the same question that I have for all my guests that come on here. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations maybe growing up? I'm assuming you grew up in the Connecticut area. I'm assuming, but I may be wrong. But talk about growing up and talk about your why of getting into journalism.
Yes. Well, one, I am a New Yorker through and through, born and
New
raised.
York. Okay.
Yes. So I grew up right outside New York City. So I claim New York City and Long Island. That's where I'm from, like right on the borders. If you know JFK, I'm about
Mm,
10 minutes from there.
yep.
My why is that I think it's important for people to be seen, and I think a lot of cases people are not seen, and I think that I do that very well, and I think that's so important in news. You have to make people feel seen, whether it's the smallest story to the biggest story to an illness to really anything. That's my why. I do it for the people to make them feel seen.
I like that. Now, did you always want to be a journalist growing up, or did this fall into your lap? You know, some people just have different kind of situations that come up. But did you always know that you wanted to be in front of the camera and be a journalist?
Kind of, sort of. So I've always been someone who knows exactly what I want. But I had a teacher in high school, Miss Harley. So, she ever sees this, shout out to her. She
Okay.
actually had us write letters to ourselves.
Mm,
And I had to decide, I was split at the time. It's my senior year. I said either I was going to be an attorney or I was going to be a journalist. And
okay.
I kind of just let things fall into place. So I went to school at Quinnipiac University, which is in Connecticut, and I took a couple of journalism classes, and I was like, okay, this is it. And from there, I just got super focused, and then you keep working at something, and eventually everything just falls into place.
I like that. I like that. Now, being a New Yorker as yourself, I believe y'all what 646 area code? Is that one of y'all area code 646?
Yeah, we have a bunch because it's so big, but yeah, we have a
And
bunch.
it is. And listen, I know about the five boroughs, and personally, my favorite borough is the Bronx. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like the Bronx.
Okay.
Whenever I go down there, I rock down there. That's for sure. I have family in Brooklyn as well, which is one of my favorites as well. So definitely. But as a New Yorker, I gotta ask you, do you like the street meat?
Yes, like oh my gosh! Anytime we'd go to the city, the carts get the lamb over rice or chicken over rice. Like that is our thing. Actually, you know what? I just got to visit home and literally just shared a sandwich with my husband from the cart, so it was great.
Okay, okay. Now, mind you, the first time I went to New York City, I've been there a few times now, but the first time I ever went there, I never heard of street meat in my life. And I went there on the mega bus. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the mega bus,
Yeah,
but
I know the bus.
oh yeah. So I got off at like 2, 3 in the morning, and I was going to my next stop because I had a transfer to get to Rochester. And somebody asked me about street meat. Now, mind you, I'm from California. I'm also slash Georgia. I was raised in those two states, so I don't know nothing about no street meat. So when somebody asks me about street meat, I'm like, brother, I don't want no street or no meat from you. I'm good. I don't want none of that. He was like, no, 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 it's something that we cook. And I'm like, cook or make? How you making it at this late at night? Like, have you ever had street meat like two something, three something in the morning?
Yeah, it's the best time to get it. That's the best, and that's what I love about New York. It's funny because when we landed,
Yeah.
our flight was late, and that's the first thing we did, and I was like, wow, I missed this. So that's so funny that you're like, I never heard of this, but like that's a staple for us. That and
No.
the deli, because the deli is open 24/7. So bodegas also.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt the bodegas. I'm with you on that. And listen, I get the white sauce now. I get the white sauce on the street meat. So
Good.
yes,
Hot sauce too.
oh, I ain't had it with the hot sauce.
You gotta get the
Oh,
hot sauce too on top of it. It's so good. So good.
okay. Next time I go there, for sure, I'm definitely gonna do that. I'll be like, Bree definitely told me what time it is. Okay, I'm with you on that. That's what's up. I want to ask you about Quinnipiac University, which is a university in Connecticut. Were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going there, or was that your number one choice?
It kind of fell into place. So, like I said, I was always someone who like always knew what I wanted. So at the time, I wanted to go to the university at Buffalo, and it didn't end up working out. My parents were actually very strict with you have to go to a state school because it's the most affordable, and it
Mhm.
just didn't work out. And then Quinnipiac kept writing me, and everybody's like, "This is such a great school," so I just applied. It worked out. Originally, I was gonna be a double major with communications and business, but then Quinnipiac offered broadcast journalism, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then I did that with a minor in computer information systems. So it kind of just like fell into place.
Got you. University of Buffalo. That's what's up. I'm actually headed that way. I'll be moving out to upstate New York in the recent weeks for sure. So yeah, that's what's up. That's crazy how that, kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how it does that. That's what's up. I want to ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay, so here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Ooh, my favorite meal I like to cook. Okay, well, mac and cheese if it's like holiday time. But if it's like a regular day, I love baked chicken with like potatoes and veggies. That's like been my thing lately. I know that sounds so boring, but that's just like my thing lately right now.
Man, hell no. I'm sure your husband loves that. I'm sure he would love to eat that for sure. No question
Yeah.
about it. Now, we talking mac and cheese. Are we talking baked mac and cheese?
Baked mac and cheese. Like that is my dish for the holidays. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, man. Lord have mercy. All right. That's what's up. I like that. That's what's up. Um, Mine will be tacos. I'm not a huge cook. I'm more of a griller. I like to grill. But tacos, I can whip up some chicken tacos, some turkey ground beef tacos, or steak. Either or, doesn't matter. But that's what I like to do for sure. Um, Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh my gosh. Well, I am a huge Nicki Minaj fan. So anything Nicki Minaj. But my favorite concert was Beyonce. I just saw a Cowboy Carter tour. It was so incredible. That was the best show I have ever seen in my life. That was incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, Brianna. Everybody.
Yeah.
Did she come to New York? I forget, or not New York. Did she come to Jacksonville or Florida?
No, I had to go to Atlanta to see her, but it was worth it. And I also saw her the Renaissance tour as well, and I flew to Houston for that, and that was incredible. But anytime Beyonce does something, it's so magnificent. The
Hmm.
detail, the visuals. Oh my, it was literally incredible. I was lost for words, honestly.
Absolutely. I've seen her twice, but by happen chance, I did event security, and I was happened to be right by the stage of the Beyonce shows. One of her shows that she did in Atlanta, she had two stages, and it was no chairs, so people were standing up or no chairs on the floor. People were
Wow,
standing up the entire concert and surrounded in two stages. It was absolutely crazy, but she puts on quite a show. She's amazing, no question about that.
it is worth it.
Um, Absolutely worth it. I'm sure we ain't even got to talk about the price that you dropped on those tickets. I'm sure they up in the hundreds. That's for sure. No question about that. Um, Favorite place you've ever traveled to? And recently you just went to my favorite place, which is Jamaica.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, my favorite place, honestly, is Panama. Panama stole my heart. I love Panama so much.
Okay. Panama. Now, was that a girls trip, or was that a honeymoon trip, or what kind of trip was that?
It was my cousin's birthday. We went last year, and it
Okay.
was just It was so fun. It was so fun.
Okay, that's what's up. I might have to call you to get some tips on that because I ain't never been to Panama.
It's
No
amazing.
doubt.
I
No
recommend it.
doubt.
10 out of 10.
I went to Jamaica myself. I went to Jamaica on a cruise. As I told you, that was my favorite place to ever go. The beaches, the jerk chicken, the rice, the food, just amazing. The
Yeah.
stores, the vibe, everything was so good. It was extremely hot. Don't get me wrong, but I loved every bit of Jamaica, and I would definitely go back there for sure. So that's my favorite place I ever traveled to. I'm a sports person, Brianna. So I'm going to ask you a two-part question on this sports stuff. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV, favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
I'm just for real getting into sports. I'm gonna be so honest. But since moving to Jacksonville, I really have gotten into football because it is so fun, especially when we had that streak when the Jags were like winning for a while. Like it brings people together
Mhm.
so much. There's like nothing like it. I love that. I would love to see that, like go to a football game anytime. But also like basketball too. Like my family, they're huge basketball fans, Knicks, diehard Knicks fans. So I
I'm
support that
about
as
to
well.
say, I was about to say it, girl. I know you got to be a Knicks fan. Talking about New York, you definitely got to
Yeah.
be a Knicks fan
Yes.
for
And
sure.
my dad just did a big like New York themed party. Like everybody had Knicks jerseys on and Giants, and I have my family is like a huge sports family.
Well, shout out to your family. I love your family already because I'm a sports guy. So that's what's up. That's what's up. And obviously Jacksonville getting Travis Hunter. They're gonna get a lot of buzz down there. Big
Oh yeah.
time second pick. So the football game should be pretty good down there too. So yes, you named the two sports that's my favorite as well. Basketball is probably my favorite. Football is my second favorite for sure. So yeah, I like basketball in person, football on TV. Um, I want to ask this last favor because I'm a huge foodie and I love visiting different places. I've been to Jacksonville a few times. I've been to New York City. By the way, before I get to this last favorite, have you ever been to the Sugar Shack in New York?
The Sugar Shack? No.
Okay. I wanted to ask you to get your opinion on it. So they have a Sugar Shack in Florida and they do have a Sugar Shack in New York as well. To me, it's overrated. I like going to different places and trying out different things. You should definitely go to the Sugar Shack in New York whenever you get a chance to.
Okay. I'll
No
try that.
doubt. No doubt. Give me some restaurants that's some of your favorite restaurants to go out and eat at.
In Jacksonville?
Yeah, absolutely. Or New York too. Both. You can give me both.
Okay. Well, in Jacksonville, I love this spot called Copeland's. Anytime I have family, I take them there. It's
I know what
so
you're talking
good.
about.
Green Papaya has amazing Thai food. When I'm trying to get as close to New York pizza as possible, Biggie's, and it's like Biggie Small themed in there, which is so good. I
Right.
love them. And
Right.
then New York, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, New York has so many options. But honestly, I go to a lot of the like locally owned spots. The first thing I do, I'll like go to the bodega, deli. I will go to a local Jamaican spot because New York has the best Jamaican food, best Caribbean food, period.
Okay.
There's a spot in Queens that I like to go to. Has like Guyanese and I think Guyanese and Trinidadian food sings in Queens. That's so good. I mean, and then also I feel like even when I'm home, I'm gonna always get a slice of pizza. Obviously, Gino's Pizzeria, but I'm also getting a lot of like home cooked food too. So I'm not even eating out like that when I'm there.
Well, you named Geno's. I definitely know about Geno's. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
That Brooklyn style pizza is very hard to find anywhere else other than obviously Brooklyn. It's just very hard. People try to make it, but
yeah,
it don't really equate much. But when you said Copeland's, like I went to college out in Atlanta, Georgia, so I definitely know about Copeland's and some of their kind of that is about as close as you can get as far as like maybe soul
yeah.
food, good type of food that they just eat. And it's so good, and their pies are amazing. No question about that. They got some good pie. Okay, I like that. You got some good taste, girl. You got some good taste. I like that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your day to day. As you know, and I know as a journalist, no 2 days are ever the same. When you're doing news stories, you're doing different news stories every single day. That's what we love, though. I don't know about you, but I know I would not like waking up every day, 9 to 5, doing the same damn job every single day. That would drive me crazy. I love doing different stuff, interviewing different people, being engaging, being a pillar in the community. Talk to me about your day to day as far as how many stories do you do? What time do you normally go in? Because journalists' schedules are not like business like or conventional. They could be all over the place. Talk to me about your day-to-day process.
Yeah. So I am an anchor and reporter. I anchor the weekend mornings. So my schedule is kind of like split. So my Monday through Wednesday, I'm in at 3:30 in the morning. Um, I'm turning a minimum about 4 scripts. Lately, we've changed our workflow so we do the same story, but we have to kind of develop that story.
Right.
And that's minimum. That's not including breaking news. So on average, I'm going live about 4 times every hour. And then if there's breaking, there's more, and you kind of have to like be able to pivot and think quick on your feet. The stories are different every day. We
Yep.
try our best to kind of get ahead of it. Like if we know something big is going to happen, let's say after, okay, I go in at 3:30. I'm hitting the ground running as soon as I'm in there, getting all my scripts in, because remember, I'm hitting every hour, so there's not a big window to write, so you have to really kind of move quickly. But that's the beauty of the
Right.
morning show; it goes by so quick.
Right.
So let's say I'm done by like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Then I'm gonna try to work on my next story if possible. So and set myself up with interviews and things like that. And then on the weekends, I get to work a little bit later. I go in around on Saturday 4:30 in the morning. I anchor for 4 hours straight, and then I turn a story after that, after the show. And then on Sunday, it's only 2 hours. I get to go in a little later, which is nice. At what time do I get there? Actually, no, I go in around the same time, 4:30 also,
Wow.
and there too. But it's still 2 hours, so it's not bad. And then we'll report after, or we'll set up interviews for the show because we do a lot of live interviews and try to
Hmm.
do a lot of community-based things to keep our viewers engaged.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Now, how long did it take you to get settled in with that morning schedule? Because waking up at two something in the morning is rough for anybody. I mean, I don't care how many times you do it, it's still rough, no question. But how long did it kind of take you to get settled in and be like, okay, this is my routine, this is something that I can do?
I'm still really not settled in. I'm really like, okay, so I've been in Jacksonville now for 4 years, and my
Right.
schedule has changed. So my schedule used to be split. Like I had Monday, Tuesday morning show, then Wednesday I was dayside, which is like a 9 to 6. So
Right.
that was
Right.
majority of the time here, and that was kind of rough, but also nice at the same time to sleep in. But I recently moved to morning show consistently. I would say 3, 4 months ago,
Okay.
and it just like it's you just do it because you have to do it, and
Right.
if you
Right.
focus on your purpose, it doesn't feel as bad. And the day goes by so fast, and if you really think about it, you have your whole day left. You're out before everybody else. You get your doctor's appointments. If you're going out to eat, no one's in the restaurant, no traffic.
Hmm.
So it has a lot of perks, but you don't really get used to it, in my opinion. That's been my case.
No, I totally understand that. And I'm guessing with the schedule of the way that you set it up, you get Thursday and Friday off.
Yeah.
um, which obviously there's another 2 days in a week where people are normally working, doing business hour times. That's another day where you can kind of be able to, like you said, doctor's appointments, go to the gym, be able to make your, do your off day things on days that typically people are working on those days. So that's amazing. But that's one of the things that people come on here and talk about. They do hate waking up that early in the morning. Hair, makeup, shower takes a while sometimes. I don't know how close you live to the station. Some people say they live like 45 minutes away. Some people say they live 10 minutes away. So from their station to where they work, but they love getting off at 11:30 because they get the rest of their day to do whatever they want to do. That's the best thing about that schedule. Would you say the same?
Yeah, especially on your Fridays, it feels great. Like you have the whole day. It kind of feels like you have a 3 day, work week in a way. Well,
Hmm.
3 day vacation, kind of, sort of. 3 day weekend.
Got you. Okay, I love that. Let me talk to you about mental health and work-life balance. And the reason why I want to bring this up, Brianna, is because a lot of journalists in our industry have stepped away because of mental health. They have stepped away because of work-life balance. Because it's difficult. It's difficult to navigate. Sometimes you hear the words like burnout, overworked, underpaid in our industry, right? Talk to me about how you keep your mental health strong, but also avoid those terms and still try to have that work-life balance because you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind being around you. You seem like very fun. but you also seem very family oriented, right? You got to have time for you, family, husband, job, friends, all the above. And sometimes it's hard to give equal time to everything. So tell me, how do you keep your mental health strong, but also still try to have that work life balance?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, um, number one, I acknowledge it's not just a journalist thing or issue. My personal life is very beautiful, and I've purposely built that.
Hmm.
I am super close to my family. I have really good friends, and everybody kind of has the same issue, even if their schedules aren't exactly the same. I remember I'm not the only person that has to work holidays, that lives away
Right.
from their family. And I think one of the biggest things with mental health is like, when you start to isolate yourself and think that you're the only person going through this, that's when things get 50 times worse.
Right.
So I, number one, remember I'm not alone in that, and that brings me a lot of peace. Number two, I use my personal time off. I make sure I see family. I make sure I'm doing things that I really enjoy. My day, I make sure, I dedicate as much time as I can to my craft, but also dedicate time to just living life, spending time with my husband, my dog, going for a walk, doing things that make me feel good. Those things I learned along the journey, like you have to just keep to yourself, even exercise. Going for a walk literally
Absolutely.
will boost your endorphins.
Right.
So things like that, and keeping really good people around me. Times where I do feel overwhelmed, I speak up. I think that's super important. Definitely when I first started, I was afraid to speak up and always like, yeah, I could do that. I'll do that,
Yep.
But I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, speaking up is so important. And, like I said, having good people around you, being able to talk to someone about how you feel too.
I love that you said that last part about, and I appreciate the transparency about speaking up. When people normally get their first job, which is typically right out of being a college graduate or being that intern, you know what I mean? So they want to say yes to everything. They want to do everything. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do that, which is great. It's encouraged. You should, right? You should learn as much as you possibly can. But after a while, after you've been in it for a few years, what I like to tell people, and I'm going into my eighth year of being a journalist. I tell them that you got to start kind of understanding when to say no and when to kind of speak up at the right time. It's not that you're trying to turn down stuff and say no and be, someone who's not reliable, but it's at the end of the day, your mental health is the most important thing, and you can't be the best of you if you don't have that under control. I don't think we'll ever have it 100% under control, but we will try to control it the best way that we possibly can with the cards that we're dealt. Everybody deals with adversity personally, professionally, everyone does. But it's important that people that want to get into this industry know that you got to have some boundaries. You got to be able to speak up and be comfortable speaking up. And people sometimes are afraid because if you do speak up and sometimes you feel like you're speaking out of pocket, you might lose an opportunity. And I want people to feel like they shouldn't. They shouldn't do that. You should definitely speak up when it's absolutely necessary for your mental health as well. Because, like you said, you want to spend time with people that you love, and this job never stops. You work this type of job all the time. It's 365 a year, and it can get heavy at times too, especially doing news stories, which is kind of a great segue to the next question I want to ask you is because how do you deal with hard news stories, Bree? Because soft stories are great. They're awesome. They make you smile, make you laugh, but hard news stories is very difficult to do. Do you ever find yourself taking these stories home with you to where you have to possibly, maybe talk to your husband or maybe talk to a family member or and do stuff like that?
Yes, there have been so many stories that have stuck with me. And I get through them by remembering that my job is an active service,
Hmm.
and I focus on that service. That's how I get through it. Focus on, okay, why am I doing this? What's the purpose of this? And that's what carries me through it. And I realize like I'm not in control of a lot of things. And even if I wasn't in news or if I decided, hey, I'm going to leave this doesn't mean that this stuff would stop happening.
Right.
So what is my purpose in this? Why am I doing this? And I just focus on that purpose, and that's kind of what carries me through it. And if it's a tough day, I think it's okay to cry. I think it's okay to talk to someone about it. It's okay to
Mhm.
take a moment. We're all human. And, you know, I remember when was first coming up, there were so many senior journalists I met who became desensitized. I never want to be that way. I think that that is a gift to be able to feel. So I allow myself to feel, and, I just do
Absolutely.
my role.
Absolutely. No question about it. I was told that too, in college and coming up saying, you have to kind of desensitize yourself to the situation. And mind you, I kind of steered away from news. I went to sports because I absolutely love sports, but sports have hard news stories too. There's no question about that. It's very difficult at times, at least for me personally, to stick a microphone in the kid's face after they lost the game. Now, you go into the game knowing that it's a 50-50 chance you're going to win or lose. But when your season ends and you don't see those same teammates anymore, and some of those teammates graduate, teams are different. You do cry. It is what it is. I mean, and it's tough to do that because, you're emotional and you're asking them to speak about stuff. And it's the same difference when you have a hard news story where a house is burning or a shooting has happened or a robbery has happened. Sticking the microphone in somebody's face is just tough to do. But it's also a part of the job, like you said. And we have to be a pillar in our community, voice for the voiceless, advocate for the people. And it's a tough job, but it's a rewarding job. It is a rewarding job. It is. And I don't want to discourage anybody, whoever's watching this. I don't want to discourage anybody from being a journalist. I love being a journalist. I know you love being a journalist, Bree. But people got to understand the A side and the B side of this. And sometimes they just see you, right? They see the pretty lady that's on TV talking about news, talking about a story, talking about what's going on in their community, and trying to, be all that. But they don't know the behind the scenes of what you have to do to prepare yourself for that. They don't know what you go home with those hard news stories. They don't know what you're doing in the office and editing and writing and preparing for scripts, anchoring and reporting, which is two different roles. So you have two different processes to get together, right? So they don't know all that, and that's why I try to create this podcast so people can get a behind the scenes look and definitive look at what people go through.
Yeah.
I love that. I want to ask you some advice. What is some advice that you would give someone? I'm sure you have interns that come through to that station. I'm sure you've had people that graduated um, in college, or just people that's curious about broadcast journalism. What is some advice you would give them about being a broadcast journalist?
Some advice I would give. I think I would say be resilient and don't rely on talent. Work hard.
Hmm.
Remember, it is practice and repetition. The people that you look up to, I'm talking about the Lester Holtz of the world, they put in so many hours of practice, repetition. That's why they're great. So give yourself time to get there. Continue to put the work in. Don't just think it's going to come naturally. You have to work at it every single day and be patient with yourself and allow yourself time to grow and make mistakes and learn from them.
It's real easy for people to try to emulate others. It's in my opinion. Practice does make perfect. In this profession, in my opinion, and I may be biased, reps really, really, really do matter. Like you can learn all that stuff in the classroom and they can teach you all that stuff, but unless you out in the field, baby, you ain't gonna get the realness until you get out in that field and do what you got to do. And
Yeah.
that's what I try to tell people too all the time. I think that's some great advice. A bonus question came up in my mind, Bree, and that is, give me three impactful stories that you have done in your time that has, made an impact, not just with you, but in your community that you remember reporting
Okay, well, the very first one was early, like my first market in Erie, Pennsylvania.
on. Okay.
Um, there was a daycare fire that happened, and 5 kids were killed,
Wow.
and it was horrible. And
Hmm.
I was an MMJ, which means I had my own camera. I had no photographer at the time, and I had to do the hard thing and interview people. And it was so hard. Like before I went live, I remember I broke down and cried and like had to get
Wow.
it together and go live. Then I got it together and I went live for it because it was so heavy. That was
Right.
something that stuck with me for such a long time because I think that's something that kind of shook my faith even because I didn't even understand how something like that could happen.
Right.
But again, I focused on, the service, and the community really respected that. And I ended up helping, the parents get their stories out and talk about the short-lived lives of their children. Like some of these kids were like 2 years old.
Wow.
So there was that one. I recently won an Emmy for the story. It's called Too Dark to Be Latino.
Yeah.
So my mom's side, they're Cuban, and a lot of people don't know that like Latinos are also black, especially in Jacksonville.
No
So I did
doubt.
a whole series about that.
Okay.
And I spoke to, not only did I highlight like, hey, there's a growing Latino community here, and they might not look like what you think they look like. And we kind of spoke about the economic disadvantages you have as being a black Latino. Like you're not only dealing with just the challenges that come with being a Hispanic person. You're also dealing with colorism and racism and how it also can impact your ability to get a house,
Right.
impact healthcare. There was a whole bunch there. So that was super impactful. And it was something I'm really proud of because I got to show my culture, but also I got to spotlight a community that no one even knew existed here for the most part. And people were like, oh my God, I had no idea about that. So that was a
Absolutely.
really special moment for me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Another one, I recently did a story. This lady, she's so amazing. Her name is Disaster Jen. So we always,
Wow. Okay.
yes, she's the best person ever. We always talk about hurricane season in Florida, nothing new. But you kind of like forget about, we always know the hospitals and stuff, and people are there, emergency personnel. But I was like, but who's the person behind this?
Right.
So there's this amazing woman named Disaster Jen. That's her nickname, and that's what she goes by now. And she kind of gets everything online from the emergency plans to this is what we're going to do in case we get flooded out. This is how we're going to save these, patients in the hospital. This one woman at this trauma center here in Florida,
Hmm.
and she was just so incredible. And you remember how we were saying, this is a tough job because you can see a lot. She's one of those people who have also seen a lot and also has to work weekends and sacrifice holidays. But you can just tell this woman loves what she does because it's an act of service and she does not take that for granted. And that just touched me so much. Like, that was one of my favorite stories that I did. And I did that this year. So that was awesome.
Wow. Those are three really damn good stories, man. It really is. I really do appreciate you sharing that. And obviously, congratulations on the Emmy. I'm sure that was obviously well deserved. And that's the one of many that you'll be getting. That's for sure. No question about that. Very talented you are. I don't think I'm breaking news by saying that. I think everybody knows that you're very talented at what you do, for sure. I wanna get to my game here because we have reached the portion of the podcast now that we're gonna play my interactive game called This or That. So Brianna, what it is I'm gonna throw some things at you and you get to choose this or that. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. Out of these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather eat at?
Okay.
Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
Okay, girl, you on point like a period right now. Okay, I like that. We starting off good. Let's see if we can keep it going. When it comes to chicken wings, which flavor would you rather put on the chicken wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Barbecue.
Okay. Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Wet.
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Bone in.
So you like to get a little messy.
I mean, I guess with chicken wings, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Listen, girl, say it with pride now. Yes, you do. I do too. I like to get a little messy as well. Get a wet wipe and go to work. I'm with you on that. Totally. Right now, we're rocking. We're good. These next five questions have to do with music concerts that you
Okay.
rather attend. So here we go. Which music concert would you rather go to? Brandy or Monica?
Brandy.
Okay, okay. I like that. Which music concert would you rather go see? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Drake.
Wow. Okay, you said that
Wow,
fast too.
what's the wow? I love Drake. I love Kendrick too. I love Drake. I love Drake. I love Young Money. I told you I'm a Nicki Minaj like
You are.
fan.
You did.
Like I
You
love Young
did.
Money. So.
You did. But
But
listen,
I love Kendrick too.
and I feel you. I feel you on that. But a lot of people on this platform have said Kendrick. So that's why I say not many people have said Drake. They
I
went on
love
and
Drake. And
and,
I
and,
seen him
and
in concert too at the Garden. He's so great.
he's
Like,
amazing. He's amazing.
yeah, I just can't.
No.
He just his music is the bomb. So is Kendrick.
Okay.
So is Kendrick.
Okay. So now this one's gonna be a little tough. Which music concert would you rather go see? Beyonce or Nicki Minaj?
Uh,
I, I
okay,
told you.
I would say Beyonce only because Beyonce's little like that the extra attention to detail for the shows, but like I feel like Nicki Minaj is just this amazing lyricist. So she's someone like I don't really need visuals. I can just listen. I love how
Right.
Beyonce like matches her lyrics to the visuals. So concert wise, Beyonce, but I still love Nicki because you know.
Of course. Of course. I love Nicki too. And Beyonce. Both of them are great. All these artists, by the way, I listen to like religiously. So I'm just throwing it out there. This next one here, which concert would you rather go to? Would you rather go see SZA or Megan Thee Stallion?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, okay, I got you. I got you. We following the trend, Brianna. We following the trend of people that you picking right now. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Last one for the music. Which music concert would you rather go see in person? Would you rather go see Rihanna or her?
Rihanna.
I figured that. I figured
Yeah.
that. Yep, Riri. I would say Rihanna too, because we just haven't seen her enough. I don't know if she's done like many concerts at all. I haven't seen her in concert yet. And I would love to at some point. But she's
Yeah.
amazing. Okay. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
Yes.
You ain't just saying that, are you?
No, I'm good. I mean, you really can ask about me. I'm good.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm just saying now. I'm a good bowler too. I'm a good bowler too. So I'm because some people sometimes they say they're good at bowling, then they say I'm good at Wii bowling. So I'm like, I don't know if it's like Wii bowling or regular bowling. So that's
No,
good.
regular bowling.
Okay. All right. No, no disrespect. No disrespect at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch baseball or hockey?
Baseball.
Okay, I got you. I mean, you got two teams in New York, Mets, Yankees. Who you cheering for if they on?
You know what? I went to a Yankees game recently, so I'm gonna say Yankees.
Yeah, definitely Yankees over Mets all day long. No question about it. I'm with you on that. Do you like snacks?
Depends
Like
on the season.
I would say not snacks. I'm sorry, desserts. Do you like dessert?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, Bree. I'm gonna name four different categories of desserts. What I want you to do is I want you to choose one of these that you'll never eat again. Okay? Out of these four categories. So here we go. The first one is candy. The second one is ice cream. The third one is cookies. The last category is grouped together. Cake/pies. Which one are you getting rid of?
I guess ice cream.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite cookie?
A chocolate chip cookie. Basic, simple.
Very basic. Very basic and simple. I love chocolate chip cookies too, but if I'm going a little different, give me gingerbread. Give me a gingerbread cookie.
Uh,
Um,
Too much for me. I don't really like the ginger taste. Unless it's in like a smoothie, then I really like ginger, but no, not in my
I'm here
cookies.
doing that. And well, listen, that you doing me a favor. That means that's more for me. So I love that. I appreciate that, dude. And you being selfless like that. Thank you so much. Do you like potato chips?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay,
Not
so it's the
really.
same. So it's the same format. Okay, same format. I'm gonna
Okay.
name four brands of chips. You got to choose one of these that you'll never eat again. So here we go. The first one is Doritos. The second one is Lay's. The third one is Ruffles. The last one is Doritos. Or Pringles. Pringles. Sorry. I said Doritos twice. Pringles.
Pringles.
I would say I will get rid of those too. Now, if you are eating chips, what is your absolute favorite?
I like Doritos. If I'm gonna eat chips, that's usually what I get.
Okay, okay. Now, something tells me that you like a little spice with your food.
I do. I love spice.
I figured that. I figured that because now, do you like buffalo sauce more than the barbecue and the lemon pepper?
Like on wings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Enough said. And when it comes to Doritos, do you like the hot Doritos or you do nacho cheese, cool ranch?
I just do nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese. Okay, I got you on that. All right. You did pretty good on this or that. Pretty decisive. Although I know the Beyonce Nicki Minaj one definitely was a tough one for you. I know that was. But I get it. I totally get that. Um, I love asking this question to journalists, and that is give me a bucket list of top four of events or stories that you would like to do in your journalism career that you haven't done yet.
Okay. Something big on my list. I would love to host the Rock and Roll New Year's Eve in Times Square. That is like a dream of mine. I
Okay.
hope to do that one day.
Hmm.
Um, I have to name three,
Four. Three
four.
more.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you hosting like a red carpet event for like a music, maybe Grammys, billboards? I can certainly see you on the red
Yes.
carpet. I think you would be amazing on that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. I would love to like specifically work with Vogue because I think the way they do the red carpets are amazing.
Okay.
Um, ooh, I would love if I could like do a little bit on the Breakfast Club. I grew up listening to that show. I think they are so awesome. Um,
Yeah, Charlemagne a fool. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He a fool. For sure.
yes.
I love him though. I love him though. He's good.
Yeah, and that show has so much impact, which I think is so cool. And they kind of
Absolutely.
combine journalism and entertainment, which I really like. So,
Yeah, no doubt.
um, okay, one more. Um, it would be cool to one day either be on having the opportunity to anchor on either Good Morning America or the Today Show. I feel like those are like that would just be incredible to like actually wake the country up would be amazing.
I think you would excel in all those. I really do because of your personality and you're relatable. With a lot of different things. It seems like you just relatable with a lot of different topics, a lot of different issues. It seems like you can just talk to anybody, and that is a gift. Not a lot of people have that. You know, some people you try to get them to start a conversation with somebody, and it's just blank. It's just nothing's coming out, nothing's going to start, and I don't think you have that problem. I think anybody that you meet, you could possibly start a conversation with, and it can lead to somewhere. And that I'm the same way. I love talking to anybody. It doesn't matter what ethnicity, doesn't matter male, female. I just feel like everybody that you talk to, you can find something that you can be relatable with them with, for sure. Now,
Thank you.
yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. You anchor and report. Which one do you like to do better? I know they're both your babies, but which one do you like to like obviously do better? Do you like to be in the field, or do you like to be behind the desk reading a teleprompter?
You see, like I don't look at anchoring as just reading a teleprompter. It's connecting with
Okay.
the viewers on a more intimate level. So I think anchoring gives you a more you're one, you're on longer, so you're more up and personal. You get to kind of show a range of really who you are.
Okay.
So, and yeah, you are reading a teleprompter, but it's so much more than that. You're connecting with people for a longer period.
Okay.
So I really enjoy that. But also, I enjoy reporting too. But I guess just because of the intimacy with anchoring, I think I push for that more because I'm someone who is really big on connection. But like I love a good live interview. Like I love just getting out there and talking to people. And that's something that, reporting gives you that is just unmatched.
I got you. I got you. I love that. What is some advice, Bree, that someone has gave you? We talked about advice you would give, but what is some advice that someone gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Ooh. Okay. I think something that a mentor told me not that long ago, you don't get bonus points for suffering.
Hmm.
Which
Interesting.
kind of, yeah, so that kind of goes into our previous conversation about speaking up. So you don't get bonus points for suffering. You're sitting in silence. You're thinking, okay, well, I'm suffering, so this means that I'm on the right path. No, you don't get bonus points for that. You don't get a reward for suffering. So I think that's something I will always hold on to.
I've never heard it quite put like that before, but you're absolutely right. That's amazing. I appreciate that quote, and shout out to the person that gave you that advice for sure, no question.
Yeah.
Um, I want to ask you this question about representation. And the reason why is that being a reporter, going in my eighth year of working in different publications and now freelance. I go to a lot of these events. I recently just went to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, and covered that, and that was a treat and that was a blessing. But to be honest with you, Brianna, there wasn't a whole lot of people that looked like me that was there, and it wasn't a whole lot of uh, ethnicity there as well. There was some, there's no question, but there wasn't a lot. Talk to me about the importance of being Afro Latina, being someone that's ethnic, that's in front of the camera, that's being an advocate for people that, you know, you don't see a lot of faces that look like you in front of the camera. Talk about that representation and how important that is.
That is so important, especially because just like you said, like you kind of have to see someone who looks like you to believe it's possible. And definitely being Afro Latina, like for sure, only in the last maybe 10 or 15 years or so, I started seeing representation, and it wasn't even on TV news. I'll tell you that. Like,
Right, right.
a lot of that was on a reality TV show. Like, Love and Hip Hop was one of the first where I started seeing people be on national platforms. That's like Tahiri Jose was one of the first people.
Mm.
So, and it meant so much because now people were like, oh, okay, you're like her. Oh, okay, you're like that person. And then,
Right.
we see so many people expanding now from Univision to, other platforms as
Telemundo,
well.
all of them. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's like so huge because like sometimes you almost feel like you have to shrink yourself into one box because people don't get it. And I think regardless if you have representation, I think it's important to know that you belong no matter what. And but I'm so grateful that there's representation because when I see someone that looks like me or who I can relate to, it reminds me like, hey, this is possible too. If they can do it, so can I.
Which is obviously, I know that's a reason why you do what you do. I mean, there's probably been little girls or girls that come up to you that have seen you and they say, wow, you do what you do and you can do it too. I know you're probably telling them that. And if there's future little girls that come up to you and do that, that'd be one of the reasons why you do what you do. I know for me, I love to see African American young boys coming to me and say, I want to be a journalist because I read your article or I read this or I see you at the games doing what you do. It looks fun. I was like, absolutely, it's fun. Absolutely, it's interesting. It's hard work, but everything in life is hard work, and pretty much. And if you really want to be successful at it, you're going to have to work hard. That's why my podcast is Work Hard, Play Harder. So that's what I like to do in
Yes.
life. But I think that's a great answer that you gave with representation. You just don't see a lot of it, right? You don't see a lot of not just ethnicity with, black, Afro, Latina, Hispanic, Asian, all the above, and you don't see a lot of women. You're starting to see more now because there's been more of an onus put on it that we need more women in the journalism space. Tell me how does it feel to know that there's more women now that you're seeing in different not just ethnic women in these journalism stations and publications and stuff like that, because you really didn't see a lot, and I certainly don't see a lot when I go cover some of these big time sporting events as well.
If I'm being completely transparent,
Yeah.
I did not have that experience, and I think it's because I grew up in New York, like New York City.
Hmm.
My news has always been so diverse. I have seen like women of all different colors. So I have not really seen that personally. So that is not a personal experience that I can speak on directly. But the fact that there are more women in general stepping into roles, I think that's incredible.
Hmm.
And I hope, we continue to stride and keep breaking those glass ceilings. I feel like that's so important.
I'm a huge advocate for women in journalism. Huge.
Yeah.
I think, and especially in sports journalism, because we don't see a lot of faces in sports of ethnic or women, period. And I feel that we need more, but not just more women to just have more women. We need more because in hierarchy positions as well, like, managerial positions and stuff like that, because us brothers do great job. Men do a great job covering sports, but we're not the only people that play sports, and we're not the only people that should be writing about sports or reporting about sports, or just in general journalism, right? I mean, I just feel that we need more inclusion. What I'm getting at, and the more we talk about it, the more that it could possibly happen for sure, no doubt. Um, I want to get you out of here on these last two questions, and this one here is going to be rapid fire. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some things at you, and the first thing that comes to your mind, Bree, I want you to shout it out with glee. Okay, so for the very last time, we're going to ask you, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes,
Okay, chicken or red?
chicken,
Okay, red or blue?
red,
Juice or soda?
juice,
Favorite Netflix TV series?
Netflix. Gosh, I really haven't watched Netflix in a little minute. Okay, I'm just gonna say Squid Games because that was like the last show I really binged like hard.
Oh my God, that is just crazy. That show was bananas. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, I watched that too. I watched that too. Huge Squid Game. Um, favorite board game.
Can I just say, like, I'm not a board game person, but I'm a big Uno player. So does that count? I know it's not a board technically, but you know.
Well, I mean, you can count it. We'll count it because my next question was going to be favorite card game. But since you put Uno in there, what other card game would be your favorite?
Taboo.
Who?
Taboo, it's like the best game. It's kind of like a is there a board? There's no board. It's a card game. So you have to have like teams, and then it's kind of like a version of charades. Like one person has to look over your shoulder while the rest of your team has to guess what's on your card, but you can't say the words that's listed on your card. It is so good. I recommend 10 out of 10.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that out. If you had a choice to bring three people with you on vacation, who would those three people be, and where would you go? Now, you can choose family, friends, or celebrities.
You said two people?
Three.
Three people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for sure, my husband.
Okay.
Um, where am I going? Because this matters. Like, where are we going?
Yeah. Well, it's up to you. Where you going?
All right. So,
You go anywhere in the world.
the thing is, like, I would say my siblings, but then that would cause jealousy if everybody can't go. So I can't. I can't. Okay, I would have to bring. Oh, if I bring my friends, that'll be a problem.
Why? Why would it be a problem? You bring your friends.
Because it would be like, okay, wow, you didn't bring your family. Are you gonna bring your friends over your family? Then if I bring because I have my two sisters and my little cousin who's like a brother, and then I have my sister-in-law. See, I have to be able to bring all of them or none of them.
You sound
So
like
it's
you
a
need to
tricky
pick
dilemma.
celebrities. You sound like you need to pick some celebrities,
No, but I
bro.
don't even know celebrities like that. I mean, if it could be like a mentorship thing, I would love to speak to Oprah. I think that would be
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
Okay, and if we're looking from a mentorship angle, definitely Oprah
Okay.
and
Maybe
I would.
maybe like Tyler Perry.
Yeah, but I feel like I can get I can learn from Oprah already. She'll tell because I feel like she taught Tyler Perry because I feel like I know she was his mentor. So I'd want to pick someone different, someone like that I'd find very interesting,
Okay.
like that I would not get to speak to.
Well, listen, you can still bring your husband. You can bring your husband. You can bring Oprah, and then you can bring one more person.
I don't know. I really don't have a third person. Um,
Wow.
I don't
So this
know.
is stumping you. This just stumps you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because I really don't know. Like I don't know who I would bring.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm gonna let you keep thinking about that. Well, I want you to think about
Oh,
this too.
I got
Go
it.
ahead.
Barack Obama. I would love to talk to Barack Obama.
Now that would be a hell of a trip. Now, where would you go?
Yes. Bali.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
You got some good taste, girl. You do. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm happy about that. Let
Thank
me
you.
ask you this. You welcome. What three songs or three artists would you choose to listen to on repeat and never get tired of?
Songs or the artists?
Either one. You can choose either three songs or three artists that you can listen to on repeat and never get tired of.
Beyonce, Nicki, and Drake.
That's a nice playlist. I like that. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. What sport would you absolutely play and dominate in?
Basketball.
Word. Okay. All right. You know how to play some horse?
I could play basketball. My mom had dreams of us of one of her kids being WNBA players, which did not work out. So I went to basketball camp for so many years. So if I get back on the court and I practice, it's over.
I agree. We might have to test that theory. I'm just trying to tell you. I don't know when you're gonna be in the NYC again, but we might have to test that theory if we ever in the
Yeah, I just
NYC
gotta
together.
practice. Yeah,
That's
I
all
just
I'm saying.
gotta, warm up again. That's
Okay.
it.
Say less. Now, what sport would you play that you would absolutely suck in?
Probably hockey, because I can't skate.
Yeah, you and me both. I cannot skate either. I can't skate on land or ice. It's never good. Never
Yeah.
good. Last of the rapid fire. That is, if they told you, Bree, you can anchor and report and do both for the rest of your career, but you cannot do the genre news. You're gonna have to pick one of these three other genres. Are you gonna pick entertainment, sport, or travel?
Entertainment.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Okay, that's pretty dope. And this conversation has really been absolutely amazing. Learning about your background from New York, from going to school in Connecticut, from obviously starting off in Erie, Pennsylvania, now working your way up to Jacksonville, where you've been for the past 4 years, telling some amazing stories, giving some amazing advice. I'm obviously a new fan of yours, Bree, and somebody who I feel like I'm gonna keep supporting. You're gonna keep doing amazing things, and I just want to say thank you for allocating your time to me to be on my podcast. And my last question to you is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, or anything at all before we conclude?
Well, I feel like something that at least I wish I knew as a journalist. I ended up finding out
Hmm.
early on. Your superpower is being yourself. I think when so many of us get started, we try to do this news voice, we try to look like this person, and we wear our hair like that. And we just live in a different time. And I think that being yourself is your superpower. So lean into that. Do not try to be like everybody else, okay? Because there's only one you.
Right.
And it's like, why would you want to be someone else when you could be yourself? Like, that's amazing.
Absolutely. I love that. I will say this. If you know of anybody there at the station that wants to hop on this podcast, that wants to make it do what it do and tell their side, tell their story and share their why, please don't hesitate to reach out with some names. You can hit me in the DM and let me know because I would love to be able to connect with them and network with them just like I did with you. You're absolutely amazing, Bruce. There's no question about it. I want you to enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and the rest of your week. And thank you again for coming on to the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right, bye.
Mhm.